everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I've been working on this page out of Spirit Animals by Hannah Karlzon in my own time, but I thought while I've got an hour or two free this morning I will sit down and do some of the work on camera. So this is the page I'm working on at the moment, and all I've used is the Faber-Castell Albert Dürer watercolour pencils. That is for absolutely everything. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out so far, and I thought I would pull out my Black Widow pencils. I've not used these in the longest time. I do like the Monarch set, the newest set that they came out with, but the original set I do struggle a little bit with. But I am trying to use up some of my supplies. As you can see, I've tested them quite thoroughly, but I've had some issues with the pencils breaking, not sharpening properly. For instance, look at this one, the space colour. It's awful. I think that's just snapped in the core, and I've never dropped these pencils. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Not open that one up. So this is all the three sets. I can't remember the names. I think, is it the scorpion, the snake one, the spider one, the two skin sets, and then the monarch set, which is here. I've not sorted them out in colour order. I've just kept them as they came in the tin, and that's how I like to keep them. And some dark greys at the back. I don't know why them greys are there and not there. Or are they the monarch? No, they're the monarch, aren't they? Yeah. See, I've not used these pencils in a long time, so I thought I'd pull them out. But yeah, isn't it beautiful? I love the shading that I've managed to do with the, is it meant to be seaweed? Now, I did do this page previously, well, sort of. If I can pull it out, where is she? There it is. So this is the one that I did with all the backgrounds. It's quite far in the front. And I just wanted to do it again because I didn't like how the background turned out on the first one. So let me just find it. There it is. I think I did it was either oil pastels or Neocolor 2s I did on the background on this. So I've done the opposite, and I've coloured the page first, and then I'll work on the background at a later date. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm definitely not going to use Neocolor 2s if that's what it was. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It doesn't feel like oil pastel, but I could be wrong. So yeah, put that back. So I'm just going to zoom you in, and I'm going to get started. I'm going to want to work on her green hair, I think, at the start. So you're a little bit closer now, so that should be a bit better for you to see. I've just got my colour swatch charts. That's what I've previously done, and I just cut it up and put it in my little book, and then that's the new colours just there. And I'm just checking there's not really a dark green in the new colours that I want to use. That leaf green isn't dark enough. Oh, and I didn't even say, it'll just be a chilled out video, this. No fancy editing, no nothing, no voiceover. I just want to make it easier on myself. I'm going to try forest first, and if that's not dark enough, I'm going to try the opal green colour. And let's just get started. So let's start from the top to the bottom. But this paper has suited the watercolour pencils quite well. I'm not sure, this is why I'm not sure what to do about the background. If I went in with just watercolour, I'm not sure what it'd do, because it is buckled a little bit, and it's here. That's because of the water that's been on the page. Oh, it should be fine, this colour. So that's what I'm not sure what to do, because I didn't use a whole lot of water. I just used a little brush for most of it, a little aqua brush. I think this is one of the Pentel ones, I believe, or the Kuretake ones. So yeah, just a little bit of pencil shading. I had a heat gun, and I was having problems. It was just a normal heat gun that I got from an art store. It was probably about 10 to 15 pounds. And I found with the watercolour paintings that I've been doing recently, it was too hot. It was really affecting the paper. It looked like it was burning it ever so slightly. I mean, I have had it for over 18 months now, so I'm thinking that maybe it's just old. So instead of buying another heat gun, I actually bought a miniature hairdryer because this hairdryer has got two different settings, like a cool and a hot, but it's got the different setting where you can put it on a lower speed. So I thought if I put it on the low speed on the cool setting, I won't have that issue anymore. And that was a lot cheaper for me to buy than an expensive heat gun with all the different settings. So I'm going to give that a try. Whether I do it on this page or not though, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure how far to bring the colour down because I want a little bit of colour on these bits of hair, so I'm going to have to pull it out a little bit further, I think, in certain areas. But it's always the way when I'm doing the colouring off screen and I'm doing it in my own time, it turns out really, really nice. But sometimes when I'm recording, it doesn't. So I thought before I finish this page, I'm gonna do a little bit on camera while it's going okay. So I hope everyone is doing alright. We got all the different new rules and what's going to be happening 2 days ago now. This is Wednesday, what date? Wednesday the 24th. So yeah, the kids will be going back to school. They're going back to school on the 8th, I believe, and that's when I've got my COVID jab booked in for the 8th. So I'll be happy to just get that out of the way, to be honest. I have to travel to a local football stadium to get it done, and then it's a good few weeks until I have to have the second part of it. But yeah, I'll just be happy to get that done. The only thing that confuses me a little bit is if I'm having the jab, then why doesn't my husband have to have it at the same time? Because he lives in the same house, obviously. So does anybody know the reason why they're doing that? Just it's done separately? I don't know. For anybody that knows as well, my ankle is slightly getting better. I'm having good days and bad days. My good days, I'm thinking, oh, I'm back to normal here, I'll just take it a little bit easy, be careful when I'm walking. And then today is a bad day. I really struggled walking this morning. It was raining, not enough to put the umbrella up, but we had the umbrella, quite a big one, and I ended up practically using that as a walking stick on the way home, whacking it on the floor as I was taking a step, and that seemed to help. So I am really being careful with what I'm doing today. So I'm not going to be sitting at this desk for all that long. If I've not done what I want to get done, I'm going to have to put some peas on it again. But yeah, because of that, I've had the lack of motivation to do any sort of videos recently, and the fact that I can't really sit at my desk for long periods of time. So hopefully soon I'll be back to normal. But we shall see. I'm all the way through to season 7 now. Negan's just come into The Walking Dead. I'm really, really enjoying it again. Really enjoying it. I'm going to have to get a tissue and blow my nose. These little beads, or bubbles, pearls, whatever they're meant to be, I'm thinking about using either the new liquid chrome watercolour paints that I recently got. I have uploaded a video very recently actually showing you how that paint works. It's really nice. If you've not seen that video, I will try and remember to link it somewhere around here. I think it is just up here. Yeah, the liquid chrome in particular and the hollow paint is lovely, but it's really difficult to show on camera how beautiful them paints are. I need to have a really nice sunny day and then show you in real light, and I think I've got 3 lamps on at the moment. 3 lamps on, and it's only 11:25. So yeah, it's dingy day. So I'm going to have to bring this quite further down, and I hate colouring in the crease of the paper. I think apart from them updates, there's not really much else that I can update you on. We're still trying Little Miss in the walk-in frame. I've got to be honest, it's not going as well as we would have hoped, but we're going to have to persevere and hope that she gets better in it. She's just not got the core strength to propel herself forward, and it doesn't help because the frame that she's got is quite heavy, but it needs to be heavy to keep her upright and not to tumble over. But I did ask the physio yesterday. They came round and did a home visit, and that went quite well. I did ask, when we get nicer weather, would it be okay just to take the walker just on the concrete pathway literally right outside our house, and just not make her walk, push her up and down, get her to move her legs. She might be more interested if she's outside and nosing at other people. And she said, yeah, that's absolutely fine, as long as obviously it doesn't get damaged or it doesn't get dirty, muddy, that sort of thing. So we just make sure we don't take it out in the rain. So we'll try that once it gets a little bit warmer. It seems that cold spell that we've had, touch wood, is gone now. It feels like spring's coming soon, and I can't wait. It was only this morning that I mentioned to my son, as soon as we get a weekend that's some sort of nice weather, we're having a barbecue. And he said, well, why can't we go to Collins? And that's my father-in-law. I said, we're still not allowed to do that yet, so we'll have to just make do and do our own. He likes going there for barbecues and stuff. I hope you like the colour palette that I chose. I went with something completely different. I was going to go with purples and pinks, and I thought, I've not done anything like that. And I think I was looking at the swatch chart of the Faber-Castell, and it was this tone of colours, and there was yellow, there was like a gold yellow, and I thought I'd give that a try. Similar to them, but not the same. And I have, thanks to Kirsty for helping me, she helped me to work out how to do the Amazon affiliates. So I have got a page now that I've listed all of my favourite things colouring wise and other miscellaneous things from the camera that I use, the equipment. I've even got Jasmine Beckett Griffith mugs on there. There's all sorts. So if you just click on that link, and there's different sections, you can see which paints I like, which pencils I'm using, the papers that I print off on, and so on. It's all in that link. It's really interesting actually. I had fun doing it, but it took me a long time to sit there and add each individual item to all of the lists. But the main reason for me doing that is if anybody purchases anything off that list, I get a small commission, like a small kickback from Amazon through I've chosen for it to be Amazon gift cards, because any money that I make from my YouTube channel goes straight back into YouTube. I buy either supplies or books for the channel, or my main thing at the moment is I need a new camera. This camera that I'm using now, that I've been using for, it's coming up to a year. It's almost a year, because I have to pay for my editing software next week or the week after. So yeah, it's a year since I got this camera, and it's okay, but when I'm trying to if I wanted to zoom you in quite close, it really does struggle to pick up the quality that I want. My phone is probably better actually, but the only problem with using my phone is I like to keep my phone free for obvious reasons, for anybody ringing me, emergencies, etc. And I really struggle editing the way that I like to edit on my phone. I like to do it all on the laptop now. I just find it a lot easier. So the whole point of me going on this whole train of thoughts is any money that I make from YouTube or Amazon or anything like that, I'm saving up for a new camera. And the new camera that has been recommended to me is not cheap. It's over £600. So it's I'm umming and ahhing about it, to be honest. My husband's completely behind me saying, yeah, we get it, if it's something that you want to do, you enjoy doing YouTube, and it's going well, then you know, go for it. If you're going to use it and it'll make your quality of your videos better, then go ahead. But I'm like, oh, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to spend on number one, myself, and number two, for YouTube, when I've got this camera. But like I said, I really struggled in that video that I did the review for the chrome watercolour. I could not pick up the angles and the different shots that I wanted because this camera is just not capable of it. This wasn't a cheap one. I think I paid about £300 for it a year ago, so I should have just bit the bullet and just paid a little bit extra. But you live and learn. You live and learn. And on the 8th of March, it's a year, 1 year, I can't believe it, 1 year since I flew to Florida. 1 year. So that's the day that I get my COVID jab. That's the day that the kids go back to school. And that was 1 year ago. I don't know where the last year's gone. I'm hoping that this year isn't going to be as bad. Everyone's saying it's, you know, it was a write-off. 2020 was a write-off. The people I've spoken to about it. Let's sharpen my pencil. If you are wondering as well, the sharpener that I use is the Helix one. I've never had a problem with this, the crank one. It's never broke on me. It very rarely snaps a lead in a pencil. It's just quite loud on videos, but it does give a really nice point. So here's me watching Boris on the TV, thinking, oh, he might open the nail shops and the hairdressers soon. I'm desperate for to go and get my hair cut. Just need to trim. And my daughter and my son. My son's got a moped, but there's no way I'm cutting it again. Because he looks better when he's got a proper cut. Anyway, so yeah, there's me sitting there thinking, yes, he's going to open all these places back up. No. A few more months to wait before I can go and get my nails done. Has anybody tried? I think it's called a poly nail. Poly nail. It's like this. If you know when you ever go and get acrylics, they stick the plastic bit on the top of your finger, and then they put the acrylic over the top of it. But this isn't like that. You get the piece of plastic that looks like a nail, and then you put this gel in it, and then you put that onto your nail. Shape it how you want to with a brush and some sort of liquid. Was it acetone? I can't remember. And then you put it under the LED light, which I have got one, because I have got that for the gel nail polish that I've got. But I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It looks like it would be easier. And they look dead pretty as well when they're done. I'm sick of my nails. I'm sick of my nails because I've started biting them again. Which I've not bit my nails in years. Years and years. Years and years and years. And I'm still struggling with this. It's like it's scarred now. It was really sore. It was very red on that last live stream that I did. It was very, very red and angry. And I've been putting some Sudocrem on it. But yeah, I need the jewellers to open to go and get my ring bloody resized. Hey ho, it's all fun though, isn't it? And we're still in the process. I'm literally every single day I'm going on, there's a website in the UK called Rightmove. I'm checking that every single day. We're not planning on moving now, but if the perfect house came up and it was too good to pass up, and there was a room already sorted downstairs and the wet room was sorted, which is probably never going to happen, but you never know, we would move now. So I'm checking, both me and my husband checking every single day, probably more me than him. And yeah, I think he's probably sick of me sending him links to houses from Rightmove. He very rarely watches my videos. I did ask him to watch my... Was it the last one? I think it was the last one. The last one with the red panda, because I was really proud of that one. I was proud of the way that I edited it and I did the voiceover. I don't think he's watched it still. He's promised me, That was a few days ago. I'll end up hearing his voice when he's sat on toilet, because he'll sit there on the toilet watching my video, which is really nice, isn't it? But I bet you that's what happens. And I'll laugh if he does that after me saying this, especially on camera. So where's that piece coming from? Is it part of that? Can you see there? That looks like a separate piece, doesn't it? I'll just treat that as a separate piece. Yeah, I'm struggling with what to do with the background. I could use pan pastels, but the only problem with that is I'm going to have to erase a lot around these areas, all the little itty bits, which there's a possibility of me taking the colour off the page if I do that. And I think that'll be a lot of fussing. I could use watercolour like I said, but use a little bit of water, but I don't think I'll get the effect that I want. I could gesso the page, but I don't know how this watercolour pencils, what I've already put down, I don't know how that would react with the gesso. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not going in and doing the background with pencil, no way. It's too much of a large area. You see all this here is open, so I'm not doing that with pencils. I'll be here forever and a day. I'll have a little think. And I could use the Jane Davenport mermaid markers, but they bleed through terribly, and I don't particularly like that page, so that's not too bad, but I do like the lion page behind that one. So I'm not sure. Or we can use distress ink maybe, but the only problem again with that is it would get over the tentacles and the hair, so maybe not. Or I can just go ahead with the black acrylic paint, the one that I always use, the Americana one. That might be a good idea. Or I could just leave it plain, and then it'd be all about just the focus on this lady. I think she's meant to be wearing a top here, but I'm not going to do that because I feel like if I don't bring the colour all the way down, it'll look weird, and then these will look weird, so that's a necklace in my opinion now. That's what I'm going to treat it as. I've just based out the crown and that to be a gold colour once I've added the pencils. Or I could use my Winsor & Newton ink, couldn't I? Which is this one here, the really nice inks, these ones. See? Really shiny. I could always use that maybe. Right, so where was we up to? Just down here. Yeah, so last week was a bit of a pants week. I was really lucky that my mother-in-law helped me nearly every single day last week with Isabel. I was having to get my son to lift her up and move her around the house because I just couldn't do it because of my foot. But the funny thing is, I've really done myself a thick one because I got the switch to lose weight, to do more exercise and lose weight, and it's had the total opposite effect because now I can barely even get around and all I want to do is eat because I'm bored, because I can't sit at my desk. I've been occasionally sitting at the couch with one of my books, but I easily get bored. I really get bored. I like sitting at my desk and this is my area and I zone out, whereas if I'm at the sofa I've got people around me, I've got the normal, like the big TV in front of me, and I find myself just sitting there watching TV instead of doing what I wanted to do in the first place. But I have started playing Animal Crossing as well. I think I did mention that in my last stream, I think. So if any of you play Animal Crossing, let me know your friend code, because I'm still a beginner in that game. But it seems to me that it's a lot of paying your house bill off with the bells. I think I'm on to the third or fourth. It's about 300,000 something bells that I have to pay off now for the one bedroom extension that they put on the back of my house. It's like real life but in the game. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. I was playing it for an hour or so a day. going on and doing all your daily tasks that you need to do. That's the only bit I've had shooting stars in that game though once, and I've been playing it now for about 3 weeks, something like that. So I'm having bad luck on that front. I didn't shade that area as well as I did this one. But in the bit of The Walking Dead that I'm up to, Negan's properly fully come into it now. I won't say too much just in case you do want to watch it and you've not seen it. I don't want to spoil too much. But he's, I don't think they could have found a better character, a better actor than him to play that character. He's just brilliant. He's meant to be someone that you really hate because there's some of the things that he does are really not nice. But I found myself laughing my head off at some of the things that he says. I was even recording a little bit of whatever he was saying this morning. I don't want to say, like I said, spoilers, and sending it to my husband with loads of laughing faces. So funny. Right. Just got this little bit and then just this corner here. And then I might even possibly go in with a darker colour, I don't know. This green area here was probably about 5 different layers of watercolour. It took a long time to do, but I hope that I've pulled it off. I think it's worth it. I think it's really nice. I can hear car doors outside. Does that mean one of my dogs is going to start barking? Hopefully not. My sister's just got her new puppy as well. She called it Leonard. It's a British bulldog. And she's called it Leonard. She's got a Shih Tzu that she already had. That's, I think he's nearly 4, I want to say. And he's called Sheldon. And so she's called the baby Leonard. Little British bulldog baby. He is ever so cute. I've obviously not met him yet, unfortunately. I was hoping to meet him before he starts getting too big. So hopefully, maybe soon. And then my niece got a puppy as well. Everyone seems to be getting puppies. She got hers though, I think coming up to about 3 weeks ago, a Akita. I think that's what it's called. I'm not totally clued up with every sort of breed of dog. But yeah, it's an Akita and he's so cute. His ears are in between now. One of them's really floppy and the other one's a little bit floppy, and they're meant to both come up. But I've already warned her. So just because he's meant to have ears stuck up doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Because one of my chihuahuas, one of her ears has always been down. Rolo. She's always had a floppy ear. I think she's had one day, she's nearly 8 now, she had one day when she was a baby that both of them like picked up. I thought, yeah, that's it now. And it went back down and it's never come up again. She's still cute though, it makes her look like a puppy still. 2 little monsters. I wouldn't be without them, but I do complain about them. It's just hard work if anybody comes round to the house because they like to bark, and then that sets Isabel off, and then I'm getting stressed out. I'll be careful here, I don't want to go onto the page behind it. I've been working on my diamond painting as well. I want to say I'm almost about a quarter of the way through, but I'm still having the same problem. I'm sitting there for an hour or so and I can't do it for much longer than that. I was hoping to get it done within 2 weeks. I think I'm going to be close. I think it's probably going to be 2/3, 3/4 done in 2 weeks time. But yeah, I shouldn't say things on camera because then I put pressure on myself to get it done. But it's not my fault, it's my ankle. Not my fault. Right. I do really like them, the Albert Dürer watercolour pencils. I really do rate them. I think I still do prefer them over the Caran d'Ache ones, even though the Caran d'Ache ones are nice and there's more neutral tones in the Caran d'Ache, so more realistic pictures I'd probably use the Caran d'Ache ones, but for pictures like this I adore them pencils. let's make the shells just a tad darker. What colour have we got here? Olive brown. That's going to be too light, that one. Let's go a little bit darker. We've got Huntsman. How dark is that? Oh, that might be alright. Huntsman. That's a spider, that is it. I'm pretty sure one of them sets is a tarantula set, or is it just called spider? I can't remember. I wonder how many people didn't buy them pencils because of what was on the case with the tarantula and the scorpion. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't like spiders at the best of times, but if somebody's really, really scared of them, then maybe they wouldn't have wanted to pick that case up with a big spider on the front of it. I don't know. But that was my first thought when I opened that case, that package that day. Or snakes. You might be so scared of snakes. You see what I mean about this camera? It really does have a mind of its own. So yeah, it's saving pennies time. So like I said, I will put that link in probably all of my videos now. I'm not going to go back and put them through my old ones because I'll be here forever and a day. I think I've got over 200 videos, I think, on my channel now. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. So it'll take me a long time. But all my new videos, I'm going to put them links. And like I said, it's no extra charge for you. But if you just wanted to use them links, I get a slight kickback, and then that money's going straight towards a new camera. Eventually, when we get there. My radiators are coming on. I'm going to put the white dots, I think, on some of these shells and make them look like they're sparkly, but without putting glitter on, I think. And then her skin, I'm going to go with a base of a green and blue. A green and blue base, I think. But I think I'm going to use my trusted Prismacolor for that part. I'm not sure. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing really wrong with these pencils, they're just not my favourite. And I'll decide what to do with the background. If I do anything absolutely spectacular that I think of a good idea, I might film it. Then again, if it's just a black background, you don't want to sit there for over an hour seeing me block all this white off. So I'll see. So is there any colours in the Monarch that I could use as my skin base and then just switch over to the Prismacolor? Because I do like the Monarch set. I do like that set. I've got a lot of greens to choose from, and there is some teals I can see on my colours chart. There's one called Opal that I'm liking the look of. Is it that one? It is that one. So I could use that, and I like that one as well, Emerald. I like the new design as well of these, because these ones are the skin ones, I believe. So they're the very originals, so I'm glad that they did add that. But I like the actual, it's, you know, it's longer. I find that it's easier to pick out the colours that I want. So some of these greens actually in the back would have been alright for the hair. Let's just work off these and let's see how we get on. Yeah. I recently moved all of my pencils and everything around. If I remember, I'll take a picture and I'll insert it somewhere around here. And you'll see that there's the pencils at the top. I've got my Tombows in the middle, just turning around while I'm saying it so I remember. My Copics and my Stickles, and then I've got 1.5 shelves of books, and then all my other books are stored somewhere else. On my pan pastels as well at the top. So I'm hoping that that setup makes it a little bit easier, because I was having to put all my pencils in the colouring cart at the side of me, and obviously the size of the pencil cases, it was taking a lot of room up, and I've obviously accumulated a lot of watercolouring stuff as well, so I've moved all of the pencil cases to the bookshelf, and I've freed up my trolleys to make more room, and just make, not necessarily more room, make it look a little bit tidier. Yeah, I've organised it to make it look a little bit tidier. That's what I've done. I'm just realising is that meant to be an ear? You see that bit there? Is that an ear? Well, I'm making it an ear. That's what it is now. So I feel like these ones are softer than the other ones, or is that just me? So normally I'd go in sometimes with a purple, a very light purple to add the shading, but I'm just going to try this green because she's not meant to be human, is she? I mean, she's got pearls on the end of her lashes, it looks like there, or is that just on her face? I don't know. It's very, very subtle. Trying to have a light hand and do it slowly and take my time. Let's go underneath a little bit and through a crane. Is it a crane there? Because it's not on top of the head. Or is that all a part of the crane? I think it's meant to be. In these little bits. Right, and let's try and go over with the blue. Just a little bit, I just want to see what it's going to be like. We've got opal and there's another blue, like a tealy blue, called Blue Daisy that I could try. I think this one might be alright. I might even just go ahead and just give a green and blue skin. I was originally going to just do the shading with these colours, but I like the way that they look. My problem is I'm quite heavy-handed, so I'm really... So I did think that I was recording all that, sat there rambling for about 15 minutes thinking that I was talking to you. And I've done all that area and I forgot to press record. So all I've used, I'm going to do this area anyway to show you. All I've used is the opal colour as the darkest, and then I've gone in with emerald, and then I've just gone in with one layer of the sky. And I was saying that I've not used these blender pens in a long time. Now I don't think the Zest-It will blend this pencil in particular because it's waxy. They don't... The Zest-It doesn't work very well with the Prismacolor, with it being wax. I have got the two different Derwent blender pencils, and I've got the Prismacolor blender pencil that I could possibly use, but I've not used these in a long time, and I don't even think that I've used these on camera. So I'm just going to finish this side off and use that blender pen and see how I get on. They might even be dried up. It's been a long time since I've used them. I have got backups, but they could be the same because I took them out of the packaging. But with the blender pens, I do remember that you do need quite a few layers for it to work. Hopefully that's a bit better. So, in with the second darkest. Just darken some of these shadows up. I've never done a green skin before, so I thought I'd just give it a try, give it a whirl. That's my radiator coming on. They're only on very low, it's still a bit of a chilly day. It's me and my son in the house and the two dogs, so I do want to keep him warm upstairs. He's doing his drama homework at the minute. I think he's looking forward to getting back to normality now, somewhat normality, going back to school, seeing his friends, actually being out of the house. I don't know about you, but he'll happily go a couple of weeks without leaving the house and it'll not bother him. But I think that's just teenagers and kids nowadays. Just doesn't bother them. Or I think I'd go stir crazy. I did do actually when my leg was really bad. I was in for a week, a Thursday from a Thursday to the next Thursday, and I was going mad. I just needed to get out and get some fresh air. I might even make the crease darker as well, but I don't know if that's like I'm pushing my luck too much, because I've not even done this skin tone before and I've not used these pencils in a long time, so that might be pushing it. I'll go over with one light layer with the sky colour, yep, sky, and then I'll use that blender pen. Right, so some of these might be stained on the tips. Yeah, can you see? So many different colours on that. What about the thinner one? Because I'm going to need that as well. So that's a darker colour. Right, so I'll just use this because it is empty, just to check that there's no pigment on there. And it is working. That one's really juicy, that one's fine. They have got a bit of a smell to these. Just cleaning this off. So if any sort of smells bother you, it smells a little bit like hairspray, but not really strong. You just get a hint of something. Right. This may not work. This may not work. And is my camera going to listen the first time because I want to bring you in? No, I'm going to have to bring you back. That took longer than I want to admit. So let's just see. You see these lines here? I'm not great with the black widows. That's probably just me. And we'll check as well and see if it's bled through. So I'm just going to go in circular motions. I think the solution that is in this is similar to the Zest-It, but it's not the same thing, it's just similar. Let's go in these smaller areas. I'm just going into the little details and I'll go in with the bigger one. I nearly give myself an heart attack then. I've got a brush holder at the in front of me and it's got like a chrome detail on it, and I'm thinking, what is that that's moving black? And all I can see is in my pen, and honestly, I nearly give myself an heart attack. Oh, that's going to have to get moved. I don't know how juicy this one is. It's not like the small one. Circular motions. Let me try the other one again. Doesn't look too bad, that actually. But again, these were purchased off Amazon. They're really not expensive, these blender pens. For the pack of 2, I want to say it was either £6 or £8. It was a long time ago that I bought these. But I will try my best to link them. I'm going to leave that to dry. So I've just checked and it hasn't bled through, luckily. Like I said, I've not used them in a long time, so it wouldn't have surprised me. So this is the sky colour again. Just a very light layer with this. I did manage to cook last night actually. I cooked, and I've not done it before. I was following a recipe that I found on TikTok of buffalo chicken wings and a blue cheese dip, And they were lovely, even both the boys liked them. Really, really nice, so I'll be doing them again. But it was a bit of an ordeal doing the whole thing. You have to put corn flour, then mix the spices, and then cook them separate, and then do the sauce. But I think they were worth it, and they enjoyed it. And this area up here, it is really, really light, this colour. It looks like there's glue on it from that pen you see there. If I just move it slightly, it does go away. And the darker one was the emerald. I think I am just going to go in with a black acrylic background. I think it'll make the colours of this pop. I really, really do. And adding a lot of white highlights as well, I think will be nice. I think that's what I might do. I have got different colours of acrylic paint, but that one is my favourite for backgrounds. The Arteza acrylic paint that I've got is not my favourite. You have to go over with so many layers, and you can still see if you was going over a part of the image, you'd be able to see the line art. It's not the best in my opinion, but that's just me. Carefully go around these, even though because of the pen it's bled into it a bit. I'm going to go over these with something else anyway. Not too great. The problem is with the eyes, it's blooming matching it up to the other side. Is that what they say about eyebrows? They're meant to be sisters, not twins. So I'll keep that in mind. Right, and in with the darkest one, which was opal. Just on the very outside. I thought it was raining again then. I don't mind if I get wet. Come back and have a shower and get dry, but I don't like it when she gets wet. It's like a whole ordeal. So hasn't anybody had the COVID jab yet? Everybody that I've spoken to that's had it didn't feel very well for a couple of days afterwards. Let me just give this a bit of a sharpen. I think I was saying in that part of the video as well that wasn't recording for however long, that I've reorganised all of my pencils and paints and stuff. So now all of my paints are, all my pencils rather, are in my bookshelf behind me. So I've got all the pencils at the top. I'm just turning around so I know what I'm talking about. With my pan pastels at the side of them. The middle shelf is half books, Tombow markers, Copic markers, Stickles and Karen markers, and then the bottom shelf is Karen markers, Jane Davenport mermaid markers, and all books. And my little trolleys at the side of me. I keep my essentials right at the side of me, and all the watercolouring things that I use, all the watercolour paints and etc, etc. Then I've got another bookcase at the side of me. But I'll try and pan over a little picture or a little video so you know what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that this setup works a little bit better, because the size of these pencil cases, if I just show you, it's really, really, really thick, as thick as my hand. So on my colouring card it was taking quite a lot of room up, so I'm hoping that this makes it so I use the different pencils as well, because I'm literally look over and they're all there instead of being in the trolley, and some of them were hidden and I was forgetting, so hopefully it works better. So this is the darkest shade. I'm going to go back in with the very lightest one, which again is Sky, and go over everything, just a light layer, and then try the blender pen again, see how we get on. I think that liquid chrome would look really nice, you know, with these dots. I think it'll look really nice, it'll pop. I've used a slightly harder pressure there because I ended up putting a line down the page. Right, let's try this blender pen again now, so I'll use the smallest one. I'm not sure if I did that area in the last bit. I think I definitely need a couple more new ones of these. Got a funny feeling they are drying up just a tad. These would probably activate watercolour pencils as well, if you use this over the top. I'll go in with the bigger one as well, with the bigger nib. Just to make sure that it's all blended. But so far, I'm liking the look of this. Just bring it all the way. I am going to finish off her skin off camera. Like I said, I just wanted this to be a really easy video for me to edit, film and get up for you guys, because I can't sit here and film for very long. But the background, I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm going to go with a black acrylic, but again, I'm not sure. So yeah, I'll leave these pens linked down below in case you are interested. I am going to purchase some new ones myself, so I will sort that link out. But yeah, they are the Derwent blender pens. I've not seen many people use these, and I've had these for so long. I'll keep them to one side. But if you did enjoy the video, please do give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. And like I said, I'll be leaving that link in the description probably from now on to the Amazon page that I've created, and it'll have everything that I use, like from papers to the equipment, to paints, to pencils, sharpener, etc, etc, and miscellaneous things as well. It's not a wish list, it's things that I've already purchased and I stand behind as well. So please do subscribe if you're new, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.